except for statements of facts. You can always state a fact, a real fact, not just a fact because you said it was a fact. But and the goal and what it doesn't want is the purpose of the Open Meetings Act is to prevent debate on items that have not been noticed on the agenda.
No, it's to properly recognize when there needs to be a debate put on the agenda. Okay? Man, and I didn't want to have to do this because, like, I like the way I explain things and I like to make people use their rational minds instead of, reverting to the law. But, I mean, look, I'm 10 times smarter than everybody that's around me and 20 times smarter than this fucking attorney. And so, I mean, if he wants to play stupid, like, then I'm going to play lawyer. You know what I'm saying? All right, so check it out. First of all, because there's record-breaking numbers of retarded-ass female mayors throughout the state of Texas, the Attorney General had to answer a whole bunch of questions that just came out September of 2025. It answers all the questions fucking Mayor Guajardo's leaving us with. Okay, so, and don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with there being chicks for mayors. In fact, I hope we elect one, right? A very specific one, but it's the dumbass ones that I have a problem with. I'm like I believe what George Carlin said. He said, God has to be a man because no woman could fuck it up this badly. And I really believe that. I really believe our leaders should be strong-ass women. You know what I mean? So don't think I'm sexist. Well, I mean, I guess to a degree, but you know what I'm saying. Listen to these three vulgar, obscene, and profane fucking thoughts these people are going to put forward. Anti-American, anti-freedom pieces of shits. Not Sylvia, but you know what I mean. Just in case anybody misread this, what Compost was trying to do, she was trying to spark a conversation so that could be put on the agenda so they could change it for us. You know, she was trying to help us, right? But even though it seems like she's being a tyrannical shithead, she's not. She's actually trying to help right now. Just so you get the idea.
What it doesn't want is the purpose of the Open Meetings Act is to prevent debate on items that have not been noticed on the agenda.
At what point is it, I guess, the mayor's responsibility to interrupt the speaker when it's not a city
related?
Yeah,
It's between myself, Mr. Risley, Rebecca.
Okay, I was just curious because I would think at least midpoint you get that that's not city related and it's time to.
Any city council member has the right to bring up to object to a violation of decorum at any time.
I did not realize that. All right, thank you, sir.
I just threw up. Oh my God, I just threw up on my.
A lot to do with language and linguistics and understanding language and knowing exactly what it does when you speak it to another person, because that's how you win in court is language. Who's got better language?
Pop a can of snakes, sold around the branches break, breaking through the amber, popping frozen cotton candy grapes. Rate the modus operandi, one the proper fancy. It's mostly a melodrama till it's summoned Thomas Clancy and bam. Final Fantasy's ramping with fire damage. Hide the jerry cans, scramble with the clandestine. Every man, I'm everywhere. Nanny Cam, Teddy Bear, neighborhood manhunt champion. Scan the shrubs, hello there. Cello playing several houses over. From the vaults of Vivaldi to the ST of my sojourn. To get 'em walking like a street in Miss Covert. I'm making gum with my fingers and take a knee behind a sepia Corolla. I've been sneaking up the shoulder, easy peeking round these corners. If the freaks are out this evening, is it even paranoia? Partly. Still I hit 100 Mississippi as a hunter out to cut up any other color penny in the mix. Oh yeah, go mega in the trench where it gets so extra. I'm on it, go AWOL, get yourself out from behind an 8-ball. Okay, go stupid, take a piece, take another, no bullshit. Get busy, go dum-dum, always hit the ground running with the bum rush. XL Elephant Man, I yell and shout and let the mountain feel the edge of my hand. I know you getting claustrophobic when those checkers advance to separate you from your checkered van, scepter in hand. Put your hands together for the ever damned and revamped. His heart ahead in the sand, his head of Edison lamp. Might camp out in the front yard, frozen under golden stars. Wake up with the sun, grab my stuff out the canopic jar and go. I'm half math over graph. other half bat around Pascal's wager in a sea of class clowns and mad cow behavior. Don't back down every time the bath out taper. I ain't even breaking at the bottleneck. A Mach 1 holding up Medusa, disembodied head. This is kamikaze over common sense. Rocket fuel stains, polka dot the poly cotton blend. Hey, oh yeah, go mega. In the trench where it gets so extra. I'm on it, go AWOL. Get yourself out from behind an 8-ball. Okay, go stupid. Take a piece, take another, no bullshit. Get busy, go dum-dum. Always hit the ground running with the bum rush. Sitting in the middle of my web, waiting for the very next 6 legs to misstep. Pick a sticky thread, visit the vivisection. Infinite, dip a toe into the tizzy. Get your pivot reconsidered. We consider every kill to be a chicken neck and gizzard. Even if it isn't, it is. Rock, paper, scissors. Cold slang, move around the room in odd geometry. Catch, throw it back, it's a volley to spot the novelty. Act, too true, too living. Nothing left to prove and still maneuver the minutia different. Through the futurism, out the prison, postmodern. Harlem Globetrotter tickets, no ghost riders. My superpower is divining open diners. No matter the current local time or broken social climate, there's one. Bacon so fragile when you touch it with a fork, it should break up in a shrapnel like crack.
Yesterday, while at City Bakery, a voter told me that I honored the legacy of my father-in-law, Victor Guajardo Sr. My late father-in-law was a civil rights leader in Corpus Christi, serving as president of LULAC Council No. 1 in the 1960s. My father-in-law was a great role model for our family, a devoted community leader, and I know he is cheering on Team Guajardo from heaven. I can't help but think how proud he would be of our work to make real change for Corpus Christi's future together. As your next mayor, you have my promise. I will do my very best to make my father-in-law proud every day at City Hall. Bullshit.
I don't do as much of it today, but
Right, right.
yeah,
And are your parents still alive?
they are. Thank God. Yes, my parents are in their.
Paulette Guajardo, Water Mafia, could actually get, if I was in the 361 Water Mafia family, I could probably get away with murder as being her stepbrother. You know what I mean?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Jason Guajardo, not guilty of murder as charged in the indictment.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Early 80s, and they are still with us and not as active. But as soon as campaigning comes around, my mother is 100 miles an hour. And I see that, and it's amazing, her tenacity. I'm so blessed.
Bullshit. Yeah, right. We can see it on your face. But anyways,
Hello. Do I go ahead and begin?
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Alma Studer, and I reside at 5433 County Road 79 in Robstown, Texas. Thank you for the opportunity to comment. Sales tax revenue in the last 5 years was $391 million. This means the city earned approximately almost $1 billion in sales tax revenue over the last decade. According to the Texas Comptroller, the City Council is the actual government authority and responsible for decisions made by the economic corporations. The economic corporations own the land they purchase using sales tax dollars, but they can convey it to a business for free.
convey it to a business, not to the city. The city is not a business.
This amounts to preferential treatment and should not hold any place in any democracy. Economic development corporations pick the economic winners and losers, usually at the cost of the disadvantaged that have no legal recourse. Confirm who can join. Is it a pay-to-play? Please inform the citizens where the money went. A lot of it is more current and they're knowledgeable. Thank you so much.
The audience that would like to make a comment on item number 22. Okay, there being no one, we'll close the public hearing, and I'll entertain a motion to approve the item. We have a motion and a second. Please submit your vote.
Mr. Hernandez.
Are you there?
Yes,
Aye.
Can we see him? Aye. Okay,
Aye.
thank you.
Okay, the motion carries. Item number 23 is zoning case number ZN 8741, Crimean Troy Lewis LVG Trust. Motion to approve.
Okay.
Mr. Demus, would you like to just tell us
Sure.
a little short briefing of what?
Short version is,
Yeah.
it is a planned unit development. It is consistent with our area development plans, future land use map, and the comprehensive plan for 11 townhouses over 3 phases. There will be also community amenities of boat slips, a deck, a dock, a pool, and I believe pickleball courts. So it is ideal of what we see in planned unit developments, especially on the smaller scale.
Okay.
We recommend approval.
Wonderful. We'll open public hearing now. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make comment on item number 23? Okay, there being no one, we'll close public. Okay.
We recommend approval.
Wonderful. We'll open public hearing now. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make comment on item number 23? Okay, there being no one, we'll close public hearing. We have a motion and a second. Please submit your vote.
Mayor, we didn't hear the second. Who seconded Ms. Paxton's motion?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman Campos. Okay, Councilman Hernandez.
Aye.
Who was absent? Oh, right. Okay.
No, it doesn't. You misrepresented it. It doesn't say District 4. 33 seconds earlier, you presented this, which doesn't say District 4, so it's not the same thing, okay?
The motion carries.
Thank you.
Next is Section L, and that.
Where are you getting the Section L bullshit from?
For the record, Mr. Roy is here, so he wants his vote to, will reflect that his vote, he voted aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Section L is recess to the Corpus Christi Housing Finance Corporation meeting, item number 24. So at this time, we will recess the council meeting to hold the CCHFC meeting.
Wrong. You need a motion. So the clarification for retarded acts of stupid fucking mayors like this just came out in September, right? And this is from the Attorney General, right? And basically it tells you when the Open Meetings Act applies, right? And whenever the council does something fucking stupid like this and recesses into another council meeting when the same quorum is present, here, I'll just read it. May the city change the date of its meeting without posting a corrected notice. This act requires literal compliance. For this reason, the city does not have the authority to change the date of its meeting without posting a new notice within the correct date at least 3 business days before the date of the meeting. Okay? You see what's going on here? May it change this, but one below it, may it change the time. It says the exact same thing. It requires literal compliance. For this reason, the city does not have the authority to change the time of the city council's meeting without posting a new notice within the correct time, at least 3 business days before the date of the meeting, or the time of the meeting, whatever date or time. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, they had this meeting posted, you know what I mean? But no, whenever they recess into the new council meeting, it's the same quorum and the same council members that make up that body, right? So this act still applies. So it applies to that housing council, whatever they recessed into, right? That was not posted 3 days before the date. In fact, it was posted the day of the council meeting on the agenda, right? Proving that it couldn't possibly have been posted 3 days before. You see here, 12/9/2025. So 12/9/2025 here, and you see it up here, and I know you're thinking 11/6, but no, 11/6 is the date created. It has nothing to do with it. This is the only chance they would have had, is to have it posted right here where it says city council meeting, and have that 3 days in advance say what this meeting was. Would have had to have been on this calendar 3 days in advance, which it wasn't, and isn't. It specifically isn't on here at all, you know what I mean? And they hid it within this council meeting for this specific reason, so it's hidden. Look, this shit is going to be over with, dude. You guys have to stop doing this, all right? Corporation meeting. Look at all these attachments. You guys obviously planned this out, right? You know, where did all this planning come from, right? You know what I mean? Who did all this? You know what I'm saying? Questions are going to be raised. And also, too, I know what you're thinking, Mayor Guajardo, that you're thinking, well, it's a separate meeting, right? So it's not the city meeting, right? Well, you guys, okay, if that's the case, if that's the route you want to go, then you guys are a quorum is present, and if you're not taking care of public business, then that is a violation of the Open Meetings Act itself, right? If you guys meet all together, the act applies, right? No matter what corporation or board or committee that you go into, even if it's exempt, if there's actual other members there that make it up, but when you guys create a quorum of the city council, the act applies regardless, right? So you're stupid, okay? And then here, I know what else you're thinking. Oh, we'll make an ordinance, so we can fucking, go around it. No, you can't either. I'm even going to read the part that gives you some hope, right, and then crushes it immediately. But it says, also a city should review the boards, commissions, or committee bylaws, or city charter, or ordinances, or orders to see if there's special provision requiring boards, commissions, committees to follow the act. If such local requirement exists, the act would apply even if the act would not otherwise require compliance. However, the city council cannot waive the requirement of the act through an ordinance or an order. Okay, Guajardo?
Finance Corporation is called to order. Mrs. Werter, would you please call the roll?
President Everett Roy.
Present.
Vice President Roland Barrera.
Here.
Councilmember Sylvia Campos. Eric Cantu. Paulette Guajardo. Gil Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez.
Here.
Okay. Kaylin Paxson. Here. Mark Scott. Here. Carolyn Vaughn. Here. Okay, we have a quorum present to conduct the meeting.
And just pounded a nail right into your own coffin, right? That was the only out you would have had, is to say we didn't have a quorum present. But now you've officially made it official that you guys are officially breaking the law.
Thank you. Would anybody like to make public comment regarding the Housing Finance Corporation? Mrs. Werter, have you received any public comment?
No written comment, sir.
Okay. With that, I'd like to move on. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing that there are none. For approval. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Hold on. Okay.
At any rate, we're seated. That's my mayor. Get your time back.
Go ahead.
Can I reclaim my time?
Addressing the something other than the city council, like the audience, is a violation of the rules, Mayor.
Okay. So is North Beach an issue?
It could be an issue too, but it was.
I'm sorry. Okay, guys. Okay, please.
But we're not.
Okay, please.
We're not
Please,
addressing
listen.
that issue right
Hold
now.
on, please. We don't speak out, okay? We're trying to keep decorum, so I'm asking you, okay? I'm trying to keep decorum, ma'am. So I understand you have a perspective, okay? But there is a decorum here. And so if I'm asking you to please understand that. So I'm not asking you to agree. I'm asking you to understand that. We're hearing from the city attorney. So go ahead. You're saying that
I was saying it's a violation of the rules of decorum to
okay, so it's a
address the
violation
audience.
of the rules of decorum. So I'm asking you all, please, to not ask for a standing, representation of who's here. Mr. Reisig, I'm sorry, Councilwoman, please, again, back to decorum. On the I'm sorry. Councilwoman Campos, we have a system set up here, so if you would like to speak, if you'll please use the monitors here. Councilman Hernandez.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. And Miles, I think what they're pointing out is somewhat hypocritical that we didn't point it out during the North Beach discussion when Kerry Myers asked people that were supporting Ron Graven to stand up. We should have pointed it out at that point and not have two different standards here. I appreciate what you're trying to accomplish here. I think we should have caught that beforehand. We need to treat people equally and fairly. So I'd appreciate it, if you'd catch it the first time. Thank you.
Moses Mastigasi was born on April 23, 1983, in the vibrant coastal city of Corpus Christi, Texas. Raised in the heart of the city, Moses developed a deep connection with his community from an early age. His parents, Vahid and Mahazaza Mastigasi, instilled in him the values of hard work, dedication, and the importance of family. After graduating from Richard King High School in 2001, Moses continued his education at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, where he earned his degree majoring in criminal justice and political science with a minor in business in 2005. Armed with a passion for development and construction, Moses entered the world of home building in 2003, quickly establishing himself as a prominent figure in the industry. For 2 decades, Moses dedicated his career to transforming the coastal landscape, earning a stellar reputation as a skilled land developer and home builder. In 2023, he decided to transition from home building to focus exclusively on land development. Embracing his new chapter, Moses founded Coastal Bend Lots in 2024, a venture aimed at serving local and national home builders and commercial projects, as well as contributing to the community.
I want to have consistency along that entire road. Correct. If we're going to have, if we're going to do something, let's do it for the entire road. And so I made the motion for C.
Well, and before we move forward, I'm just going to say it again. Yeah, because we're here because what was agreed upon all of a sudden changed. No, it's not. No, Mr. Mastigasi, I'm sorry, we're not going to go here. So it's...
Wow, somebody else other than the mayor who doesn't like to hear their own name. I wonder why he gets up and leaves at the sound of his last name. Nueces County jury finds home builder Mastigasi Enterprises Incorporated and R&T Framing liable for gross negligence. Jury awards $18 million. So it says they were installing a 200-pound structural beam at the direction of R&T Framing. The beam became loose, causing Mr. Garza to fall from his ladder. The beam ultimately broke free because the nails used in the project were provided by MEI and put in the nail gun by R&T Framing and were too short, basically. Anyhow, it never actually says who MEI or Mastigasi Enterprises is, right? And then when you Google it, so it says the owner of Mastigasi Enterprises in Corpus Christi is George Mastigasi, or whatever, or Hosan. He made various related real estate and building ventures through. There are other family members like Moses involved in related development, Coastal Bend Lots, MPM Homes, highlighting a family-run construction development group. So, like, they're two different people, right? And then here it says, this is important, Mastigasi, president of the company, bears his initials MPM Homes. So we know his middle name starts with a P, right? Here it says the Mastigasi Enterprises and related company MPM Homes Incorporated are private businesses primarily operating in the Corpus Christi, Texas area. Okay? Business scale. The owner, Moses, has been described as running a multi-million-dollar business that sells homes quickly. In 2020, the Mastigasi brothers and blah, 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 play development project in Corpus Christi would have a value of approximately $1 blah, blah, blah billion upon its completion. This is the projected value of a specific project, not the net worth of its owners. So then we come across, it says George Mastigasi again, and then regarding labor practices, right? And it's a lawsuit. A real estate development facing recent legal challenges regarding labor practices, right? So, of course, it's a lawsuit, right? Right? And in the lawsuit, the name is Mossa, M-O-S-S-A, Moses Mastigasi, right? Weird that he changed his name to Massa. And this is in June of 2024. There's only one other place I've seen Massa instead of Moses, and that is the itemized people in the contributors of Mayor Paulette Guajardo's campaign. When I took the screenshot at the time, I didn't realize that little thing was going to be covering it. So here, it's right here. Oh, and Gil Hernandez as well.
We're going to have, if we're going to do something, let's do it for the entire road. And so I made the motion for C1.
Well, and before we move forward, I'm just going to say it again. Yeah, because we're here because what was agreed upon all of a sudden changed. No, it's not. No, Mr. Mastagasi, I'm sorry, we're not going to go here. So,
not that I'm defending the guy, but in this instance, Mr. Mastagasi is absolutely right. That little fucking dude in the black changed it, and what was agreed upon, you know what I mean? They're not there because of what was agreed upon. They're there because this little fucker changed it. But again, it doesn't matter.
it's ridiculous. So,
So there is one other place that MOSA appears, and that is under the title of General Partner. Certification. Really? 723.25. How did he make General Partner? You know what I'm saying? It says he's a consultant and chair of the Capital Improvements Advisory Committee since 8/17/2021.
But it's true. But it's true. No, but it's true. Yes, it's true. Yes, but that's not why. But that's not why. No, that's not true. Wow. That is just, wow.
We have a motion and a second.
No, there's a motion. I'm just flabbergasted by this. So we're going to make it a 2-lane, knowing, just for the record, knowing that superintendent you spoke with, and he said he was going to be in that area because he wants water and wastewater.
That is correct, yes, ma'am.
Superintendent? Like from a school? Yeah, crazy, right?
And the 4-lane was agreed upon because I had the conversation, so did other council members, with the developer. And now it's not okay. So, all right, Councilman Scott, I'm out.
Yeah, what's on the other side of 286?
On the
west side, not the
west-
side we're talking about.
Actually, you know what's up there, right? He's talking about the other side.
Yeah, it's nice and smooth, right?
County Road 22 comes across?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the road itself?
The road
Sorry,
is-
Mike Dice, Development Services. The road was improved by Nueces County
Yeah.
about 2 years ago.
I know,
It's
yeah.
standard county road.
And does it match a C1? Does it match a C?
It's county road standard.
How many
40
feet?
Yeah, ditches, bar ditches on both sides. Yeah.
I still don't know what we're talking about. So,
Okay, this next little part is just me talking, but it's to all the people in Corpus that are following this and can't put everything together, right? Okay, and this is just my opinion. Well, part of it. Anyways, the desal project was just a huge trick to have, that the water mafia, is what I'm going to call them, you know, freezing nickels and whatever, are trying to strong arm us into doing what they're already going to do. The water mafia's goal is to have water, not for us, the residents, but for high volume users, right? And that's not industry. That is a specific high volume user, and that's data centers, right? The reason they had Drew Malley infiltrate us is because our power, the power is going to come from Houston, and the cooling part of the infrastructure is going to come from us. Look, Freezen Nichols got $60 million just talking about it. A high volume user might as well be called data center. Now, the data centers can keep their private name and only tell the government what their actual name is, right? It's sketchy, right? Okay, so the whole Pape Dawson master plan thing was all about the roads, right? Well, Senator Robert Nichols from Freezen Nichols backs financially Pape Dawson. Oh, and the mayor, right? And it's to make, and that's because the reason they remaster planned all the roads is because pipes follow the roads, right? And this just furthers their their real master plan, you know what I mean? Now, these council members have found a way for the roads for the real master plan to slice off a piece of their own, right, so to speak. And it all has to do with how they are utilizing Mastagassi's unique set of skills and ownerships and whatnot, and, you know, the fact that he's willing to make up names and stuff. Anyway, and they're using it not only... what they're doing with him might be legal. I don't know. But it definitely, they're using it to find a way around the annexation laws, which I know is illegal. And at the same time, build their own infrastructure. Enter Ardura Group, which I'll get now. Let's pause there. I'll get back to that. But let me explain the first part. It all starts with people believing that a tax reinvestment zone, or TERS, that we are told is an investment in the area is made, and new development. This is what they're capitalizing on. New development, not a new development, right? And that's what Corpus is putting in there, right? And capitalizing, pun intended, right? And improvements in the area. Property value increases generate more tax increments, which in turn funds their further public infrastructure and improvements. The core idea is retaining these increment tax dollars locally will pay for improvements and spur private development. Spur private development, not create a private developer. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Stick with that. Okay, Jeet David, this is probably going to piss you off, but so MPM development is Moses Mastagassi, and Dan McGinn is pitching the idea that his new developments, which are just empty land, right? They're using the TERS idea and, you know, pretending there's money there and that they're actually generating revenue and that the houses are actually there, which they're not. But he's pitching that as if it's true, right? And then he's also under the false pretenses saying that the reason they need to be annexed in is because they're receiving city water, which is also not true because there's no houses there, right? And so this is how he's pitching the annexation for these MPM home developments, right? And they are bundling all that together in an ordinance and passing it on an emergency, right? But there's an existing reimbursement agreement that they have as well, right? And to push that forward, they're saying that they need to get reimbursed before anything happens because they have a lender, right? And this is all being done after the fees and the fee schedule for, you know, like the new developers have to pay fees. They remove those fees, and that all the other developers have to pay, like, you know, David Enterprises or whatever, you know what I mean? They remove those fees specifically for MPM development to do this whole little bundle, and also changed the 5 different ordinances with different definitions and the actual definition of a vacant building, so this all can happen right now. And you're about to hear all that go down.
Section 14-1313, 14-1321, 14-1341, 14-1351, and 14-1361 to remove past years from the fee schedule.
You hear that, Ajit David? Past years from the fee schedule, fees that you guys had to pay whenever you did developments. I think you should get a bunch of developers together and sue the absolute balls off of this bitch.
You know, plenty of width, 30 feet of back-to-back width, so you'd have the 2 lanes of traffic, and you can accommodate parking, of course, with the sidewalk. So this is typically what you find for a collector road that would run on a subdivision, along with more limited conflict points with driveways. A lot of these collectors are designed in a way where they don't have a lot of driveway connections. That's really for the residential local street where you have most of your driveway connects. And finally, again, the staff recommendation, we agree that the arterial could be removed from the plan, but we would request that the collector remain. It provides great connectivity, provides a direct link to Starlight, reduces travel times for the residents and emergency response to the area, and finally, keeping that road is consistent with what we've been hearing in our planning work. That conclude the presentation. Happy to answer questions.
Okay. 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 Okay, thank you, Dan. I'm going to go ahead and open public hearing and then invite the developer to come up. So at this time, we'll go ahead and open public hearing. And if the developer would like to come up and say a few words, we're happy to have you.
So it's no doubt that Moses for sure is the developer. That's for sure.
Hello, Moses with MPM Development. Sorry I lost my voice a little bit this past weekend.
Doesn't use his last name. Weird.
If we could pull that map back up, I would appreciate it, where it's showing the school and our potential development. So if you look at this map, the orange area, actually, can you go to the one of the aerial view, please? The one that shows all the houses. There you go. Okay, so listening to staff, our project here is 157 acres.
Now, here's where they get the bright idea that they can do all this past on emergency or as emergency as amended or what the fuck ever for county roads, annexing, blah, 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 19 acres, 180 blah, blah, blah acres for the developer, and to, on emergency, reimburse them, right? This is fucking ridiculous. But there you go, you can read it. But they think they can do all this in just one, like, emergency motion, dude. And this is absolutely not, this is not okay. And see, it says L&M and JM Investments, right? So the emergency is that they have to pay back the investor. Crazy, right? We'll just wait. It gets better. But here's the deliberations of that, or the emergency of that, right? Councilman Roy, I hope you're not the investor. If you are, man, I'm sorry, dude. I actually kind of like you, but I mean, you know what I mean?
Anyone here that wants to comment on item number 22? We'll close public comment. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. No, it's void. You have to... It's void.
Item number 23, one reading ordinance on London area annexations and rezoning of County Road 22, London Ranch Estates and Charlotte Estates. Mr. McGinn.
Good afternoon, Mayor Pro Tem and council members. Daniel McGinn, Director of the Planning and Community Development Department. Also helping out with today will be Al Raymond, Director of Development Services. The next few items, there's a good bit of overlap, so the two of us will be handling the presentation. But this next item is a one reading ordinance annexing and rezoning County Road 22, along with two private subdivisions, one called London Ranch Estates and the other Charlotte Estates. Next slide, please. This is the location. The yellow line represents the section of road. It's a 4-mile section starting at County Road 43 and runs west to County Road 51. It's approximately 1 mile south of Weber or County Road 43, just kind of low below London School District there, and Crosstown kind of splits it to the kind of not in the middle, but 1 mile to the east and then 3 miles to the west there. Next slide, please. This is a look at not only the road, but then the two private subdivisions that we have. The Charlotte Estates is the green to the right. The London Ranch Estates is the red. Charlotte Estates has not started construction yet. They have a plat that's been approved, but they have not started any work. The red one has begun construction of some of the infrastructure. It's not complete, but there is work that's in progress.
Okay, so the misrepresentation is going to come soon, but listen to how it goes from, they've got a little bit of work to they're taking advantage of our city, blah, blah, blah.
Next slide, please. This is a look at some of the schedule or how we've kind of moved forward with this request to annex not only the two private subdivisions, but the road. We started in the beginning of the year, with working with the county and then again with the two private projects. So in order to annex the two private projects, we had to have the road first. And so we had those discussions with the county. The county did take action in August to move forward with or request that the city annex and take over the County Road 22. And so we were then able to then move the two private projects forward because we now were connected via that road. So we could now bring those all together as one package. And then, of course, we had different, in October and November, we had direction here from the council to prepare the service plan. And then in November, we had the public hearings. And then here we are today with the one reading ordinance to approve all of the annexations along with the two zoning requests to bring the projects in. Next slide, please. Some of the background. So as you're aware, the annexation laws changed pretty substantially during the session in 2019, so it's made it very difficult for cities to do any kind of annexation. Most of them have to be at the request of the applicant. So that's kind of the why. We knew a lot of these projects in the London area have received city services and water and have not been annexed, and at this point probably will not be annexed, the ones that are out there today. And so we also had kind of a policy shift, and if we're going to be offering these different city services, water in particular, we wanted to then now bring those into our community as, you know, obviously they're taking advantage of all the services that we provide here in the city.
Excuse me? They're taking advantage of city water, obviously. There's nothing there, bro. There's barely a ditch dug, fool.
And so moving forward, we wanted to annex those that would be receiving city water.
Those that would be receiving city water, right? Bullshit.
So there is a section of state law that allows for the county road right-of-way annexation, and so we're following those. It's a little bit different than the private. That's why it's taken a little bit longer to do the road versus the private. And I've covered those last two bullets already. Next slide, please. Just a little bit of detail about the two projects. So they're both very similar in size, about 82 acres. This London Ranch Estates has 108 lots. The roads are proposed to be private. They're anticipating a build-out of 5 to 10 years, and this is information provided by the applicant that the unit price would be about $650,000. And that's just kind of a layout. The north end, they connect into County Road 22, and then there is a proposed connection there at the south. That road's not built. County Road 22 is in place and was recently improved by the county. The road there's connection would still need to be constructed. Next slide, please. This is the proposed layout of the Charlotte Estates, again, connecting on the north end to County Road 22. They also have a connection to the County Road 49 to the east, along with that future road that would be built on the south edge. The similar amount of lots, 110 in this one, and they're proposing a price or estimating a price of about $600K per home.
In layman's terms, $600K per home, those are $1 million homes, right? $600K is the cost for them. You know what I mean? They're $1 million homes. They will sell for $1 million. If they were going to be sold, which they're not.
Next slide. And so as part of the policy that we have, or the guidelines for annexation adopted by council, there's provision in there that we run a fiscal impact analysis on each of the private subdivisions that we annex. So we've done this for each one that we bring in.
But the problem is it's not a private subdivision. It is a fucking bunch of land.
And this is about what we're seeing in that single family is kind of a break even or neutral kind of situation to the city. And this is just looking at the general fund as far as, you know, revenue that's brought in via ad valorem taxes versus the services that are offered via the general fund. That's police, fire, library, parks, those types of things. And so at this project for the London Ranch, we're showing, and this, you know, plus or minus 100,000 is, and this is very high level kind of analysis that we do, but this would bring in at those levels of home value would bring in about 20,000 at full build out to the city. Next slide, please. The Charlotte Estates is just a little bit into the negative, and that's really that we're kind of seeing that value of that 600K home is about that break even point. So this is just a small loss, but really negligible when you're kind of thinking about, you know, the amount of you know, revenue that's coming in. So
there is no revenue coming in. There is no revenue coming in. This is just insanity. But anyways, so you get what's going on here, right? So far, all he's done is made up numbers, tell lies, and then draw little squares around what he wants to be city land, right? It gets worse.
Next slide, please. Finally, we're recommending approval of basically the annexation of the road, the two projects, and then we're proposing that both projects come in with the requested zoning. One was the RS-22 and the other was the RS-15, both consistent with what we're seeing out there. These projects, for the most part, all have to be half-acre or larger lots because they're all going to be on septic. And so those are basically the 5 actions that are within this one ordinance.
5 actions within one ordinance. That is fucking stupid. They're all going to be on septic. Remember he said that.
So with that, Al and I can take any questions.
Councilman Hernandez.
Sorry, just a couple questions. Can you explain why we're doing this on a single vote as opposed to the normal two-vote process?
There was a companion item, and I don't know, has that been discussed already? It's gone. Okay. There was a companion item for a reimbursement agreement, and so that's just a one reading ordinance. And so in order to kind of expedite and make sure, and as far as the applicant getting her approvals this year, we were hoping that this could be done in one reading, so that they could be done and approved and can get underway with the project. The reimbursement agreement now is tabled or into a future meeting, and so if the council prefers, this could also be read in a second reading with just be a minor amendment to the current ordinance. So that is something that if the council would like to do, we can. No problem.
I think in G. David's presentation, he said it is hard to believe that one could go through the planning and blah, 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 and go through all. It is not hard to believe, bro. You just saw it with your own eyes. In less than 30 minutes, dude, these people have gone through ordinance, rezoning, fucking it is not hard to believe. These people are crazy, bro.
We can move that to the second reading to the January 9th. We were just moving it up to, because the reimbursement only takes one.
Okay, we haven't gotten in the second item yet with the reimbursement, but is there, as I recall, there was some sort of issue with not modifying the master plan associated with that, or?
Yeah, we'll discuss it at that item unless you want to discuss it now.
Well, I mean, this kind of reflects on the reason why this is going to a single reading instead of two, right?
Of course.
Okay, so maybe you can kind of.
Okay, sure. I will certainly. The master plan, the reimbursement agreement associated with this project. Reimbursement agreement associated with this project is preceding the master plan amendment. The UDC requires the master plan amendment to be approved by Planning Commission and Council before reimbursements are brought to the table. What I had and I talked to our city attorney, and I'm asking council to hear the reimbursement, and if approved, it'll be approved pending the amendment being approved by Planning Commission and Council in January of next year.
What the fuck?
Is there a rush on getting the reimbursement request in? I mean,
it is. It's the applicant's request. We're getting all of this done by the end of the calendar year, and so we were facilitating as we usually do.
No. Let me ask this question a little bit differently. You're not going to get reimbursed from the trust fund because the trust fund has no money.
Correct.
And it's not like it's going to happen. The installation of the pipeline is going to happen within the next month.
Correct.
Is there a reason why you need to have the reimbursement voted on this year, even though you won't get access to the funding and the actual construction?
For years to come, that's correct.
Right.
But this is just a request made by the applicant to us to move this.
Okay,
forward.
I understand that, but I mean, if you're. Okay, so the reimbursement has to be for the lender. He mentioned, is that the case, or?
I'm sorry. Say again.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Say it again.
Okay, like I said, I'm asking the question because you're not going to have everything in place even if you get the vote on the reimbursement.
Correct.
Right? So why the rush if there's no money in the trust fund in order to reimburse?
I only can respond to my part of it is that we're facilitating when the public comment.
So the developer is getting reimbursed for wastewater trunk line systems being put in, and the city's reimbursing it for whatever they consider their half through what they call the wastewater trust fund revenue. The wastewater trust fund revenue, right? Which there is none. They've been doing this since 2020. Basically, exclusively with MPM development, wastewater trust fund reuse, wastewater trust fund reuse, and they're all for wastewater trunk lines, right? To collect the water that falls into the sewers or whatever. Yeah. Okay. You get what I'm saying here, right? So instead of, and look here, starting back from, and keep an eye on some of the amounts, right? Back from 2020, when it was Mastagashi Enterprises, somebody does know who George is, and guess what? It's fucking Moses, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I mean, this kind of tells me it's for sure, right? But again, so $110,000. This is King's Landing, Queen's Landing, the New London Estates, and the other two, the Charlotte's Web or whatever, and then the other one that he had, not including the ones in Calallen. But anyways, Oso, 269 acres, that last one right there. Now, every single one of those says he's reimbursed out of the Wastewater Trust Fund Reimbursement Fund, right? Okay, check this out. This I just found this the other day, and oh my gosh, what a ridiculous fucking pile of shit Peter is. But back to this question.
Okay, so the reimbursement has to be for the lender he mentioned. Is that the case, or?
I'm sorry, say again?
Well, congratulations, Claudia Mastagasi. Originally from Monterrey, Mexico, was well-established mortgage lender in the Corpus Christi area, 15 years of banking experience.
With Camille, Tara, quite a bit, and Drew Molly, of course, our COO, in the coming months as we look at our water and wastewater financials. So some background on Camille, and he's here with us this morning. On April 1, I appointed Camille as the Assistant Director for Finance and Administration after he served as an interim in that role. Camille now oversees Corpus Christi Water's annual operating and capital budgets, financial management, water and wastewater rates, and contracts and procurement in this position. Camille has the experience that's needed. He has over 14 years of experience in finance and budgeting in both the private and public sectors. He joined the City of Corpus Christi back in 2015 as a budget analyst too in the Office of Management and Budget. And in 2018, he was promoted to develop the first ever capital improvement program that we look at each year, and has been improving ever since. And he was responsible for coordinating the development of it and oversight with the departments as we progress through a fiscal year. Camille's background is he holds a Bachelor of Economics from Stony Brook University. And with that, Camille, we're going to have you come up. He's got a fresh haircut and everything this morning, and right, Camille? Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, Camille's just going to say a few words to us this morning and go.
Absolutely. Good morning, Mayor and Council. It was a pleasure serving the...
He's Polish, but anyways, this is what I was talking about that I just found. Corpus Christi Water transferred $9 million into the C whatever trust fund budget to address the ongoing deficit trust fund balance. Since then, there have been 5 additional agreements and an additional commitment of $1 million to be paid out of the trust fund, thereby bringing the balance as of August 31st to negative $1 million.
Budget Department, the city, for the past 9 years, as the city manager stated, creating the capital improvement plan.
And so now here is the real deal, right? So $9 million award of the contract to Corpus Christi Water Collection System Improvements, right, to go back into the CCW account with the name M5 Utilities. M5 utilities. M5 utilities. Data centers are what's coming, and it's not going to work, City Council. Y'all are bitches.
Yesterday, and a big part of that discussion was the surging number of new data centers trying to connect to the Texas grid. Right now, the facilities largely power crypto mining. Eventually, they'll include more AI, and they use a massive amount of electricity. Well, now ERCOT says the sheer volume of these projects is changing how they plan for the future. KHOU 11's Jalissa Garcia breaks down what they revealed.
When you think about data centers, you're talking about these huge digital warehouses that keep our photos, streaming, and AI running. And ERCOT says they're seeing more of these projects than ever before, fast enough that it's now shaping how they plan the grid years out, which matters because all of us depend on a reliable power system. ERCOT says they've received 225 applications for new large load projects just this year, and most of them are data centers. And in total, ERCOT says they're now tracking about 233 gigawatts of large load requests across the system, a huge jump from last year's 83,000 megawatts. Leaders said the review process was never designed for this many requests, and they're now having to study projects in groups because so many are coming in at the same time.
We have outgrown the process that was established for reviewing these large loads. It was originally set up for, we were thinking about 40 to 50 loads back in the 2022 timeframe. And as you can see now, we're tracking just this year, we received 225 new requests. So the amount of loads and how we study them, we can no longer be looking at them individually because we have to look at their impact to each other as well.
ERCOT also says that as these projects cluster in certain areas, it becomes harder to take system outages for upgrades. They say the transmission system is running near full capacity, and data center growth will play a major role in shaping where new lines and new generation are needed. ERCOT says those discussions will continue into next year as they work with the Public Utility Commission on new forecasting and planning rules, all to keep up with how fast these data center projects are coming in.
There are hundreds of data centers operating across Ohio, and data centers are like the backbone of the internet.
Every email we send, every movie or show we stream lives on a server in some sort of data center. And there are two of them coming to the Miami Valley.
The I-Team's John Bedell is investigating what this means for the communities around these data centers, plus how this could impact our money and our water supply.
In Piqua, there's a buzz.
The big one has been the data center here lately. People have been talking about that.
From the barbershop,
especially the people that live close to that. How is that going to affect them?
To the coffee shop.
I'm very concerned with the water consumption.
Water might not be the first thing you think of when you think data centers, but most of them rely on lots of water to cool their systems. And that includes one coming to Piqua, here near Farrington and Washington roads, where two buildings will each be the size of 6 football fields. This water tower on the Kettering-Beaver Creek border holds 1 million gallons of water. Documents the I-Team reviewed show the company behind the data center in Piqua estimates it could use up to 2 of these, 2 million gallons every day. What's not in the document? The name of the company.
If this company wants to build in our community, don't you think that we should know who they are? Why is it such a secret?
The city of Piqua told the I-Team the identity of the company is subject to a non-disclosure agreement and is expected to be announced by the company in 2026. City documents the I-Team got only identify the company as J5 LLC doing business as Shatura LLC. State corporation records the I-Team pulled showed the business formed here in Ohio this summer. The I-Team uncovered data center non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs, beyond Piqua. We filed open records requests for the agreement between Google and a Georgia county. All references to water use specifics to water requirements throughout the document are blacked out, a secret. Mike Eckberg with the Miami Conservancy District says the Dayton region's water is reliant on a buried aquifer.
So we have constant exchange between the Great Miami River and the underlying aquifer. It's really all one water.
How important is it to protect that aquifer as a regional natural resource?
Well, this aquifer system, I mean, we're totally dependent on it for our drinking water. It's all we got.
Aside from the data center plant in Piqua, here in Sydney, Amazon is building a data center. According to datacentermap.com, Ohio is 5th in the country for the number of data centers.
Data centers
we think it's a positive, but we also know there's some cautions with them. One of the things we're looking at is that transparency, particularly on the water. We need to make sure that we have the transparency there. We also need to make sure we have the transparency completely with the electricity as well.
Dan DiOrio was with the industry group that represents data centers.
They are responsible and efficient water users.
He says proposed water numbers don't tell the full story, that much of the water brought in each day is returned to the water system. Let's go back to the Piqua project. Those records the I-Team got show the company will put half the 2 million gallons it could use every day back into the local water system. In Sydney, we don't yet know how much water Amazon expects to use. Amazon told us in a statement, our data centers in Ohio exceed industry efficiency standards. Data centers provide local governments details on their water needs, in some cases that blacked out info, so water authorities can plan and build more infrastructure.
Did you hear that? Specifically so they can plan for this.
We are fully committed to paying our full cost of service, both for electricity and water.
While data center operators pledge costs will not be passed on to you, residents remain unconvinced water bills won't go up.
Because statistically across the country where they've been popping up, they have increased utility rates.
Sydney and Piqua officials did not speak to the I-Team on camera. Piqua directly answered some of our questions by email. Sydney did not directly answer any of our questions. You can read the statements the city of Piqua sent the I-Team on our website, WHIO.com. The Sydney project is expected to start in January. Construction in Piqua should start late next year. For the I-Team, I'm John Bedell, News Center 7.
Right now, the Miami Conservancy District is in the middle of a study looking into the sustainability of our aquifer system. The MCD says it's important for our community to think about our shared water resource. They say that includes managing it for the future and understanding possible threats. The Conservancy says this includes things like changing weather patterns, the potential for transferring water out of the Great Miami River watershed to nearby areas, and water use.
There's different uses. There's industrial, drinking water, agriculture. We all need it, and those things are all important, and we want to see all of those uses thrive, but we've got to do it in a way where we don't upset that balance between water coming into the system and water going out.
The state of Ohio and the Miami Valley Conservancy are paying for the study. It's